hang on to your seat, baby, cause this one's a screamer.
What's going on, entertainment? So time coming to y'all with another video. So this video, you guys, is gonna be a little bit of what I'm gonna start doing on this channel, which is some deep dives as to what's going on in regards to this world. So this deep dive is going to be informational. Now, this isn't a tea video. This isn't your gossip video. It's really a precaution out there for a lot of the people that's trying to come to the South Florida / Miami area for the summertime and to vacation. A precautionary tale to let y'all know to be very careful and aware of what's really going on, what has been going on as of lately. Because I don't know about y'all, but this summer has been extremely hot. And I'm not talking about the weather. I'm talking about the streets. It's been a lot going on in regards to crime, in regards to women, in regards to everything dealing with police. So in this video, we're going to talk about it all, from the recent death of the TikToker Bri to also early some weeks to some months ago of a woman found hanging in Gwen Cherry Park. So grab your popcorn, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hype up the video, and let's get started. Now, I will say the amount of people that's talking about Broward, Miami, and the surrounding areas that don't live or have never lived in that area is kind of amazing to me. It's as if like the area has become like a trend or a hot topic to talk about. Now, I really feel like a lot of that reasoning is due to a few influences that we do have in that area, and one of them including Woo Lady. I think that Woo Lady has made it sort of trendy to talk about just because of some of the topics that she's been speaking of, as in tricking, etc. Okay, the first story I wanted to start off with was the woman that was found hung in Gwen Cherry Park. All right, so this woman that you guys see, her name is Tonae Miller. Now, she's not originally from Florida. Apparently, she is from Michigan. Now, she was in Florida for about since February, according to her family, and she was found hung in Gwen Cherry Park. If you guys are familiar with that park, if you guys aren't familiar with that park, Gwen Cherry Park is really an African American based type of park. A lot of families hang out there, a lot of children hang out there, a lot of teenagers play sports there, chill, hang out. Now, this park though is infamous for some dark things that have happened. If anybody knows, when it comes to that park, the things that happen on at night are not the most innocent. So I will say that. This is why this news really shocked me. Now, she was found hung in Gwen Cherry Park, and the investigation was closed because the investigation, Miami PD, they ended up finding all of her belongings with her, and they did not suspect any foul play. This to me did not make any sense because, as someone who is familiar with people that have some sort of suicidal ideation, things like that do not usually happen in such a public way, and especially in a public way in a black park in a whole nother state. She's not even from Florida. Why would she want to unalive herself in another state that she does not live in? And you guys are closing the investigation just because her belongings were found with her and then you guys don't have any further details? Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Now, her family did speak out in a press conference and says that this would not be in Tonae's nature to take her life whatsoever.
That my sister knew my sister told her Nicole. That's the last thing she would do. That's the last thing she's thinking about. She loved life too much.
Deputies say Tonae's body was found last Thursday morning. Investigators say her belongings were with her and they found no signs of violence. Over the past week, Miller's death has drawn growing attention on social media. Today, the NAACP and community leaders call for transparency in the investigation. The Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office attended today's news conference to say that the case is closed, though they say that they will review any credible new information brought forward.
Based on the totality of the evidence gathered, during this investigation, detectives found no evidence that Ms. Miller's death was a result of foul play. We understand that this does not lessen the grief of those that loved Ms. Miller, nor does it erase the difficult questions that often follow a tragic loss.
All right, so I feel like this was a bunch of BS, and the investigation to me was closed a lot too early than what it was supposed to. If anybody that knows the rumors and the activities that go on in that park, especially at nighttime, when it comes to that park is allegedly known for a lot of cruising. If you guys don't know what cruising is, it's when two people meet up in a public location and activities go down. And by activities, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. And it also has been known for alleged activities of PIMPing going on and a lot of tricking here and there. So, and that area is usually in the back end of the park where a lot of those things happen, and it's usually around the nighttime. So you'll see a lot of, the ladies of the night there, and then you'll see certain dudes of the night that's trying to get something done. So that's why I found it very suspicious that it happened at that specific park. My theory is, and of course this is just alleged, I do not think she unalived herself. I think it was either one of two situations. I think it was either one race related. So I think if it was race related, she probably got into it with probably some officer of some sort or somebody that is of power, and they ended up unaliving her and had her body there at that park, and or she ended up going to Miami for that little bit of time, and probably sadly a lot of people don't know this that are not from that area. It is very easy to get caught up in that lifestyle, and I think she got caught up allegedly, and just putting some theories out there, okay, caught up in a lifestyle that she was not familiar with, and it ended up tragically for her. But I do not see it with her just ending her life in such a public forum. There's even pictures and videos of this action and her body online, which was very disturbing. I'm not going to display it on here due to YouTube guidelines, but if y'all go online, y'all be able to see it. So just from that little bit of blurry pic that I did see, I just don't think anybody possibly could do it themselves in such a public way. Okay. Now it gained a lot of traction because of local blogs posting it. Now, what was sad about this situation is it did not get a whole lot of media fodder, especially when it comes to television, until the local blog started posting it more and more, and also content creators started talking about it more and more, and that's when it started to pick up attention and people started to talk about it more and more and more, and then the news then picked it back up and talked about it a little bit more, but it still did not gain public attention as much as I think it should have. Once again, they have closed the investigation, but the family is still not satisfied with the answers that they have been given. If y'all do know any more details or information, please contact the authorities in Miami to be able to provide that information, because once again, I don't think this lady unalived herself at all. It just would not make any sense. So the next story that caused a lot of headlines in the South Florida region is Kesha Jones. So Kesha Jones, as you guys see here, she is originally from Detroit and she's been living recently in Miami. And she was recently seen last at the Dean's Gold Gentleman Club around 6 a.m. and then was headed to the Scarlett's Cabaret on Hollandale Beach, Florida around 6 a.m. And she was last seen with a man by the name of Kenny Moore. Now, Kenny Moore has not been named as a suspect, so please keep that in mind. But a lot of people are alleging that he had something to do with the unaliving of Kesha Jones due to the fact that he was the last person that was seen with her. Now, her body was found 3 days later in the Biscayne Bay, and she was pronounced deceased on the scene on June 29th in 2026 between 2:30 and 4 a.m. And was recovered and was transferred to the FBI. And the cause of her passing has not been disclosed by the medical examiner's office as of yet. Now, a lot of people paid attention to this case just due to the last places that she was seen, because something that is being promoted on social media as of lately is the whole culture of having men supply you financially. Now, I'm not claiming that's what she was up to. She could have literally been having a fun night out and was headed to those strip clubs back to back around that time frame. Of course, her family is grieving, so please let's keep it respectful. But a common person would assume that's something that would have happened for it to end the way that it did, tragically, unfortunately. So the case ended up getting a lot of attention due to that, because right now that is something that's being talked about online a lot, and this is why I referred back to Woo Lady. Okay, now I want to say this: shout out to Woo Lady. She is really doing her big one. She is on a new network called Trend TV, and she has been going up on TikTok, you guys. Her TikTok has been doing a lot of numbers. She is somebody that I've been watching for years, and she's been doing really her big one as of lately, and has been reaching peaks that a lot of people would have wished to reach because of the numbers and the views and the eyes that she is getting. Now, one thing that she does promote is having women basically get men to supply for them financially. She feels as if you are a pretty woman, if you are considered a bad B, you should not be busting your butt to be able to pay the nearest bill. A man should be doing that for you.
What clubs do y'all go to? We go to Miami. I said we go to Miami. We go to 24 Taboo Playhouse. If you come to Miami, go to 24 Taboo Playhouse. Go to Vault, Sisha, Bernie's. Bernie's is where the trick's at. If you in Miami, just land in Bernie's. Land at Bernie's at 10 o'clock. I don't care what day it is. You're gonna find a nigga at Bernie's at 10 o'clock. They didn't give me a contract. Playhouse for sure. So Playhouse is a club in Miami where if you want like some quick, fast scamming money from a nigga and some ones, go to Playhouse. I love Playhouse. When I'm on my dirty shit, like I'm just looking for shit, I go to Playhouse. But it's fine. Tootsie's, y'all not ready for Tootsie's. Tootsie's for another day. Tootsie's is where you see big rappers and you gotta get a private room. Private room is like $4,000, so y'all not ready for Tootsie's. Let's start slow. If a nigga don't invite you to Tootsie's, don't go to Tootsie's. Don't just walk in there and be like, oh, I'm going to Tootsie's. No, you need some real heavy money. The Office, yes, the Office is opening back up before 4th of July. I will be there, and I have a contract with them, so I'm so excited about that. The Office will be on the 4th of July itinerary.
And one of the ways that she promotes that is through tricking. Okay. Now, I don't think this is the smartest things for the girls to take advice to, because if you're not from the area, you could end up in certain situations that you do not want to end up in. Okay. Every trick is not a good trick. Okay. So I do think that women that are coming down here thinking that it's this glamorous lifestyle and that you're going to make all these millions and thousands of dollars just off of a man supplying for you, that may be the case with some men, but sometimes it does come at a cost, and sometimes it comes at the cost of your life. So I just hope people are vigilant when it comes to listening to people, because it's not just Woo Lady, it's other influencers as well that talk about this type of stuff. When they do talk about it, you guys got to understand these people are content creators. At the end of the day, they are trying to meet a quota. They're trying to meet numbers. They are there for entertainment value. For somebody who's been doing it for years, I know the game. It's called entertainment. The channel, my name is Evner Entertainment, so I know all about it. So some of the stuff that content creators say online, please do not take it as face value. Okay? Not everything is to be taken serious at that. Woo Lady done put a spell over y'all at this point, to the point where y'all at this point could purchase tricking classes from her, which is crazy. Okay. But once again, shout out to her, because if you guys, if to me, women are less than smart enough to buy tricking classes from her, who am I to be mad at her for putting y'all on game and buying her ebook? I'm just saying, it's not my money, so who am I to be mad? But the point of this video is to be vigilant and to be careful, okay? To be very careful, because it may not all end up the same as you think it will. Now, her family, Mrs. Jones' family spoke about her passing, and especially her father, because it was very tragic, and also how her body was found as well.
Celebrate with her after we found her. I just knew she was just in the hospital. I never thought it would turn out to be like this.
Fighting back tears, the mother of Kesha Jones speaking out for the first time since her daughter's body was discovered in the water off Virginia Key.
I loved her. She was a good girl. Never had no trouble out of her.
The family and friends gathering along Dania Beach Friday to honor the life of the 31-year-old.
It means a whole lot. She really liked her friends. She loved her friends. And you can see by the turnout here that they loved her also.
On Friday, Kesha was last seen leaving Scarlett's Cabaret off Hollandale Beach Boulevard with a man she would never return home.
But there's only a matter of time before justice prevails in this situation, because it is an ongoing open investigation.
The FBI is now leading the investigation into Kesha's death as her family continues to search for answers.
When I first got this news, it just really, it was tearing me apart, and it still is. But I'm trying to stay strong for my family.
I don't know if my sister suffered. I don't know if my sister was scared. I don't know her last moments. I don't know what she was thinking.
Along the seashore, With candles illuminated, wearing all white, celebrating the life Kesha Jones lived and the joy she brought.
Now, this next story to me, I feel like both parties were to blame. The woman who brought out the pow pow to defend herself, and then the guy who's walking towards the pow pow. I don't know about y'all, but the moment that I saw that pow pow out, if I was that guy, you got it. You got it. Over a parking spot. You know how much Walmarts that there is in the state? You mean to tell me you gonna try to puff up your chest over a parking spot? And then for the woman, why would you bring out the pow pow out from the jump, getting out the car? You should have had that talked and then, maybe brought it out later. Regardless, I didn't think a life should have been lost in this whole situation. Now, thank y'all for tuning in to this video. For more videos like this, make sure you guys please hit that like button, share it to everybody that you guys know. I want to be able to bring y'all more videos like this, more and more and more and more. So please comment down below, hype up the video. Let me know what y'all think down below. LA. Now, the story I'm referring to is a woman that was in a Walmart parking lot, and this man partially blocked the parking spot that kept her from parking there, but she was able to squeeze her way in there and was able to get the parking spot. And he was very upset about her taking that parking spot from him. He ended up walking up to her, trying to confront her, trying to uh get her to know that that she effed up by taking a parking spot. Mind y'all, the way Walmarts are, there's a million one parking spots. The girls want to park close because they don't like cardio and they don't want to walk. So he decided to confront her over this. Now he kept going over to her. Meanwhile, she is brandishing a weapon. She has something in her hand, y'all. She has a pow pow. She tucking it. She waving it. She telling him to back up. He is not listening. Once again, if that was me, I would have been like, okay, you got it. Like the moment I seen that, it would have been a wrap. You got it. Child, that would have been exactly me, okay? Running. You got it, okay? Now, the woman who has been accused of unaliving him intentionally has not been identified by name, but the victim's name is Bart Digililemo, okay? I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but bear with me, okay? His name is Bart, and he was unalived, unfortunately, after this incident. Now, a lot of people are, of course, going into the argument of, is this a stand your ground law? Because she came out of the car with the pow pow, is it a stand your ground law versus him, and the fact that he tried to kept approaching her. He kept approaching her, he kept approaching her after many a times where she said to back up. In my opinion, just watching the video in itself, I do feel like it's self-defense, only because she warned him to back away multiple times and he kept approaching her. So who knows if he had a weapon on his person, which he did not, but somebody in that situation does not know that. The mistake that she made was coming out of that vehicle with a weapon on her, which I don't think was smart at all. So that's where it may not go in her favor, but I do think it will go in her favor just due to the fact that she did not leave the scene. She is cooperating. She was questioned. So I do think they'll take that into account. Hopefully race doesn't play into effect in this, and they just don't see another black woman doing something that's violent and then just taking it out on her and not looking at the facts in the situation. To me, this incident occurred for numerous of reasons. Right now, the financial crisis that certain states are in are extreme, and it's caused a lot of heightened tension for, I feel like, a lot of people in various states, including Florida. So I feel like a lot of people now are a little bit angrier that they were some months or some years ago, because people are not making the same amount of money that they were making. Times are a little bit harder. So when you are causing inconvenience, your tensions are heightened more than they were in the past, just due to the circumstances that you may be in. Okay. Now, this case, you guys, is still under investigation, and it will be determined soon if this was a stand your ground type of case and if any charges will be brought up against her. So we will see how this will play out. Once again, I do not think any charges should be brought against her, but I do think she needs to be a lot more careful and not take things to that extreme so quickly, because you have to be very careful, especially being somebody of color in a state like this. All right, so the last story that I wanted to talk about is the recent story that just happened over the 4th of July weekend, which is a TikTok influencer that goes by the name of Dream Doll Bri. You guys have probably seen her on live with other influencers as well. She was very also close friends with Lala, who recently passed away as well. So she was unfortunately unalived over the 4th of July weekend, which it didn't seem like she was the target of this attack. She was riding in a green Lamborghini on her way home with other people, and the car was unfortunately targeted with many of bullets and shots ringing at it. And unfortunately, she ended up passing away. In my opinion, just from looking at everything, I do feel like this was um, I wouldn't say a setup, but that they were being monitored. Now, apparently, after the 4th of July celebration, as you guys are seeing in some of her story, we see that apparently she ended up going to a gas station, and in this gas station, there were two girls that ended up getting into a fight. Now, this then was broken up, and everybody headed to their separate corridors and went home. But then it looks as if they were followed, and there was footage of the unaliving shown on home cameras, where a car passed by the green Lamborghini and ended up riddling the car with bullets. First of all, the footage being leaked online, at this point, this world is so desensitized. I wouldn't even be surprised if we ended up seeing a live unaliving of somebody doing it to themselves. Like, we are seeing everything, and the fact that that footage leaked so early at that, it really did remind me of the whole Girl Lala situation, because it literally just happened hours ago, and we were seeing footage of it hours later. So I could only imagine what the family is going through. But this is another story where if you are going to certain areas, you need to be very vigilant. Now, the area that this did happen in, which is Myanmar, that area is not known to be an area, in my opinion, that's high crime. This isn't like a Liberty City or like a Miami Gardens or like a Lauderhill where you're going to get crime that happens at a high amount. Especially with Myanmar, certain places in Myanmar having very high affluent neighborhoods. So it's not as if the area was the issue. I feel as if it was the party that was the issue. I think jealousy has a lot to do with this as well. And I think her crew, after that whole fight, was being monitored and watched and was targeted. Now, do I think she was the target? No, but she was 21, unfortunately, which is very, very young. So she ended up losing her life at that age. There was a lot of social media backlash about who's to blame with this. I kind of hate when people go into these type of arguments, because it's like we're not detectives and some of us were not even there. So how could you guys put so much emphasis on who did what? Some of y'all was even blaming Wu Lady. I'm like, y'all giving her a lot of power, girl. Not she the mafia. You get what I'm saying? Now, I wouldn't go as far to say that. Now, I don't believe those rumors whatsoever. But a lot of people were coming up with a lot of conspiracy theories as to what really happened. But I'm a huge believer in, you have to be careful who you are in a vehicle with, because if that person that you're in a vehicle with has a lot of issues with a lot of people in the city, I would not ride with them. And the reason why is because bullets do not have a name on it, and you don't know who is after who. So this whole situation itself is really sad, just because she was on her way up and she was extremely, extremely young. I thank y'all for tuning in to this video. For more videos like this, make sure you guys please hit that like button, share it to everybody that you guys know. I want to be able to bring y'all more videos like this, more and more and more and more. So please comment down below, hype up the video. Let me know what y'all think down below.